Yo, MDP, that's me, and welcome to Top 10! So, you've probably heard by now about some gurus, retiring, and the whole Sims 4 community freaking out about their game for PC because console's fine for a while, and the app thing is evidently going strong, whatever. But, there was a lot of uncertainties when it came to the Sims 4 PC, and, they put out a statement about everybody who was retiring and moving to different places in Maxis, but they didn't say anything about the actual PC team. So one of the gurus had to get on and say, nothing's happening, we just don't have a person, a PR person talking out to everybody. And I'm like, shouldn't that have been like the first thing you did? Okay. So, this is top 10 of what I'd like for The Sims 5. And, people are like, probably thinking that's, not going to happen for a few years. And I think so, too. I think they're going to be milking Sims 4 for everything it's worth. And I think it's going to be extended maybe a few more years than, from Sims 2 to Sims 3 to Sims 3 to Sims 4. I think there was only 4 years or 5 years in between each game. I think it's going to probably be 6 years between Sims 3 and Sims 4 and Sims 5, rather than just the 4 or the 5. I don't remember how many years. But yeah, top 10 for The Sims 5. Number 1, height sliders. Can't say it enough. Height sliders. If they can't give us a full height slider, then how about just, 3 heights? Tall, average, and short. That's something I really like. I mean, we've had so many advancements between Sims to Sims 2 to Sims 3 to Sims 4 with the clay sculpting. So Sims 5 should be something with heights. I think that for CAS will be the pinnacle of advancement. Keeping up with CAS, I think number 2 should be preteen life stage. I've talked about this in my wish list before in Sims 4, but I think probably not going to happen in Sims 4. But it should definitely happen in Sims 5. There should be a preteen life stage. Just saying. For number 3, I think it is time to bring back accessory jackets. We had layerable clothes in the Sims 2 console. Why in the hell did we not have layerable clothes in the Sims 4? I don't know. That technology's there, but evidently did not utilizing it. I think that is something very desired in our community and in our game, is to have the layerable clothes option. And in addition to that, more accessories like backpacks and purses and, jackets and shirts that tie around the waist. I think those are also desirable things, but definitely layerable clothes. I think that would be the best thing for Sims 5 as CAS. For number 4, not necessarily a thing that bothers me because I'm not a legacy player, but there is a want for a better trait personality system that kind of combines the Sims 2 style personality with the Sims 3 and Sims 4, some way infusing those together to create a better trait system. Because honestly, for the Sims 4 system, you pick like 3 things for them to be, and that's supposed to make them unique, but you only have so many options, so they're not really that unique. You have an aspiring writer. What are the things that go with that inspiring writer? Based on what your sim is, I guess, how you want them to be represented. But that doesn't really evolve their personality that much. I mean, that just gives them some qualities. That's about it. But it doesn't, are they shy? You could be hot-headed, but you can also be shy. That's not a thing that's kind of allowed in The Sims 4 right now. So that could be an awesome thing for The Sims 5 to infuse the personality system of The Sims 2 with the trait systems of The Sims 4. Number 5. So have you ever wanted, when you're making a family in CAS and you're making the offsprings for all those, and you're like, I would really want the grandson to take some after his grandfather, just to have that likeness. But, you know, it doesn't happen because it only takes up the genes of the two parents and no one before that. So another desired thing for simmers, and especially legacy players, is for them to have a better genealogy. You know, they take after, you know, looks from their grandparents and their ancestors and not just their two parents. And that's something I understand, actually, because in Alternate Universe, Delana and Delilah are actually supposed to take on, you know, more looks from Coastal, their grandmother, than they are from Vaden and Tatiana. So those are, I could see that, which honestly they do actually a little bit look like her, so that was a happy accident. They did take after Vaden. Vaden does take after his mother, so those are just some things that, you know, simmers would like is better genealogy. Number 6. I think something that is really desired, especially for like people who do medieval playing, is a ranch farm style neighborhood living representation in the Sims game, because so far it's not really. I mean, you had River Blossom Hills was supposed to be like a rural community, and then you had Barnacle Bay, I think is what it was called in Sims 3, and I mean, you had horses. That was just about it in the Sims 3, and you know, Sims 2 had less than that, so you know, what can we complain about? But yes, farm animals would be really awesome addition, and not just the animals, but like the mechanics that go with it. You know, in Sims 2 console, going back to what was in the Sims 2 console, was the ability of getting ingredients for making food. You know, so that would be something that would be very desired. You know, cows produce milk, chickens make eggs, things like that. And, you know, we could have goats, and we could have sheep, you know, and ducks. Ducks would be cool. But, you know, other farm animals, you know, could study other parts of the world, and, you know, more of their, you know, llamas would be awesome too. So, and, you know, we have the cow plant, so, you know, more than just that being our only kind of animal to farm. So, yes, I think that is something that needs to be in The Sims 5. Maybe not necessarily in the base game, probably not, because, you know, marketing and selling and all that. But it definitely needs to be up there in the packs needed for The Sims 5. 7! So, still not in The Sims 4 is cars. If they haven't learned from this mistake by the time Sims 5 comes out, I don't know. I don't know. We need cars. But also different forms of transportation, because, you know, not everybody drives. You know, I come from a place where you have to drive because there's no other mode of transportation. If you don't drive, you're not getting anywhere. You got to walk, and that's will take forever. Or you can ride horses, I suppose. That would take forever too. But still, different forms of transportation, like actually being able to ride the train or trolley or subway or boats. You know, in Sims 3 Island Paradise, you had boats, so that would be pretty cool. And I'm not talking about just rabbit hole, you know, you get on the boat and then suddenly you're where your destination is. I want to actually see it. You know, in Sims Busting Out, I almost said Sims 2 Busting Out. In Sims Busting Out, a console game for the, you know, for PlayStation 2, newbie would get on a vehicle and drive to the next destination. Yes, it was just a little game mechanic to save and all that, but still, it was pretty awesome being able to see them drive in a vehicle. And, you know, in Sims 3, you did be able to drive in vehicles with bicycles and cars and eventually boats. So, I don't understand why it wasn't thought of to be put into Sims 4. That questionnaire that no one that I know had ever filled out, you know, from the Sims 3 to Sims 4, what people desired in game. You know, toddlers wasn't on that list. But eventually that backlash got back in there. But still no cars. So, different forms of transportation would be awesome addition to Sims 5, and I think that should be something also in just base game too. You know, I want to go back to having neighborhoods that you can actually make, but that's for a different thing. But, you know, actually, you know, if you have a city needs a subway, needs different modes of transportation, like buses. Buses would be awesome. And, you know, the trolley. They have a trolley in The Sims 4, but, you know, it's just for looks. To see it go by. That's about it. So it's cool and all, can't do anything with it. So more transportation, please. Number 8. You know, this is probably something that no one else but me desires, and I was thinking about the gallery, and it is a really good success in The Sims 4, the gallery, bringing the internet community to be able to get houses and Sims within the game, and now pets within the game, and not have to go outside and do anything to download it or anything. And I know people still do it that way too, but you know, I was thinking about Sims 2, and one of the things that really got me interested in it was the ability to make stories in it, in story mode. And that's where it all really started for me, because I'm a storyteller by heart. So, I mean, if it doesn't have the story ability, then I just starts to lose. So I was thinking in the gallery, you know, they're bringing this gallery. Why in the world did they not think to put a place in the gallery where people could view each other's legacies and stories of their Sims and stuff? So that's something that in Sims 5, you know, expand the gallery, put in a story mode. I guess kind of like the exchange, you know, when people used to put those stories on there, and I sadly lost them, but I think that was something that really a lot of Simmers liked, and I love story mode in Sims 2. It's so sad that I lost so many stories. Like, y'all will never know Piper Leewell's story, because it was all lost in a computer crash in story mode. But still, I think that would be something that could be expanded on the gallery, and could be for something for The Sims 5, is to add a story mode. Number 9. So thinking about Sims 4 build mode. What does it lack? And it's a very obvious thing it lacks. And if you're questioning, like, well, no, I can't think of anything. I can. Terrain manipulation. Bring it back. Bring it back. I'm telling you, Sims 5, no terrain manipulation. What is the pinnacle of games? And you're trying to advance the games, and you take things away from what previous games have. That's not moving forward. That's not getting better. That's going backwards. Yes, you have, you know, wall heights, which is awesome. You can't have different wall heights though within the same build. I mean, you can't. You can't have a proper split level either. I mean, without codes, you can't really do that in Sims 2, but still, those are things like terrain manipulation is really what my focus on is for number 9, is that needs to come back. Because why it was left out, I still don't know. They don't want us to mess with their perfect flat foundation, I suppose. That's the only thing I can think of. So, yes, number 9, terrain manipulation. Bring it back for Sims 5, please. At last, we have made it to number 10. And let me tell you about number 10. Number 10 is probably something very far out there that Maxis would review and be like, hell no, she crazy. But I would like SimCity to be combined with The Sims, and us to build our city, our neighborhoods, our communities, whatever worlds, whatever you want to call them. I want to be able to build them. I want to be able to manage them, like in City Skylines. If you don't know what I'm talking about, City Skylines, go type into YouTube Corellis City Skylines, and you will find a really awesome game to watch be built and played and designed by Corellis, because he's amazing. But you know, that's something that I would really want, and that would be something so interesting too, to not only build the city and manage it, but to play its citizens, their lives and everything into that game. That would be like the most perfect sim game ever. I know that's probably not possible. It's probably, you know, oh, you would have to have the most high-end computer to be able to process all those things, blah blah blah. But I really desire, and you know, you're probably like thinking, hey, but you hate open world. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be open world. You know, it could be put in sections, kind of like how the worlds are in Sims 4, and you have the 5 separate neighborhoods, like in Willow Creek, and you know, you can just, you know, play that zone, if you will, when you go play that citizen. So, I mean, it could be an elaborate thing. It would have to have a lot of thought in it. and it would probably cause a lot of computers to die. But still, I think that it would be a desirable part of The Sims to be able to build your own world. And, you know, I go back and forth with this all the time, and y'all are probably tired of hearing me talking about she wants to build her own neighborhood. We get it by now. But still, it's one thing in The Sims 4 that really bugs me is that they don't have a create a world. Like Sims 3 eventually did have Create a World. Sims 2, if you had Sims 4 City, you could actually make your own maps. So, I mean, and still, if you didn't, you could pick out of the maps that you want and decorate it how you want and put lots where you want. So, I mean, and if you know the cheat codes, you can, you know, manipulate the terrain to be how you want. So, I mean, that's something that needs to come out for Sims 5 is the ability to make your own neighborhoods in the view you want it to be, not in the view that EA Access wants it to be, the view that you want to be, because you're the one playing the game. It should be how you want it to be, right? I'm not crazy thinking this. This is something that I want. I want to be able to build Misplaced Stream and it look like it in my head, you know? And that's for Alternate Universe, if you didn't know what that neighborhood is. That's Misplaced Stream. It is for Alternate Universe, and Hell for the gang. And I would love for those to look like how they look in my Sims 2, or how I envision them in my mind. You know, and right now you can't do that in The Sims 4. You gotta build it how the Maxis wants it to be, because really, they have pretty much said to us that they don't want us to mess with the look of their worlds. And, you know, people have come up with mods, because, you know, we're anything but a slimy community. We're going to make, you know, realistic looking grass how we want it to do, you know. We want it to look more realistic. You know, Kiwi, he's like, I'm going to make realistic looking grass. So does it. So, I mean, we've been able to manipulate it, and we can build the buildings that we want to build, but we can't have as many lots as we want to have. And it's so frustrating in The Sims 4, because, you know, sometimes you have to make 2 saves for, you know, your one world, because you don't have enough lots. So, and after all your lots are filled up, you either have to decide to, 1, destroy the lots that you have and never be able to go back to them again, or open a new save and have alternate lots in that area. It's kind of ridiculous. So, and yes, they could be like, oh, we can fix this by adding more maps. Still not going to be able to make it how I want it to look like, you know? So, need to be able to build my own world. Number 10, Sims 5, I would like to build my own city. That way I can sing, we built this city. So, yes, build my own city, manage my city, play my citizens. That would be the ultimate Sims game. Think about it. Think about it. It would be awesome. It would kill my computer, but it would be awesome. And that was top 10 of what I'd like to see in Sims 5. If you like this video and you would like to see more of this video, hey, give me a thumbs up, or hey, subscribe. And you can find me at MDPthatsme.tumblr.com or any of the links in the description below. And as always, guys, happy simming.